You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
Right now at 7, residents in Seneca are seeking a bond to enhance student safety and opportunities.
Also, we'll have the latest on how bird flu is impacting southwest Missouri.
And it is much colder out there this morning than it was yesterday. We'll be seasonably cold today with some rain chances. A look at that forecast, get you out the door. It's coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Well, good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Elise Snowy.
I'm Chris Warner, just after 7 o'clock now on this Tuesday morning. It's February the 4th, and we are doing all right. We're a month into the new year. January was certainly a long year, but we managed to get through it.
Long year.
And we're looking pretty good outside of that. I think we're going to do all right. And speaking of all right, storm season is going to be here before you know it. And one school district has some ideas in mind.
Yes. Well, voters in Seneca, Missouri will decide whether to approve a $9 million bond issue. And the bond would support the Seneca School District.
District staff say the funding would be used to make improvements for students' safety and learning opportunities. KOAM's Samantha Walker has the details.
I think the facilities in the building, they are a tool for learning.
Increasing student learning opportunities is just one goal the Seneca School District has when asking voters to approve a $9 million bond issue. One of the main projects the district has planned is a new career education center, expanding access to programs like welding and woodworking to all high school grade levels.
So we're going to have the ability to get those kids in a little bit earlier, and our kids need exposure. They need exposure to college and career.
Currently, the district's agriculture programs take place off campus, 2 blocks away from the high school. The new facility would have the education center and high school attached via a hallway, which the superintendent says addresses current safety concerns.
Our kids are have to walk, to and from the high school every day, every hour to get to ag. And so there's a major safety issue there with our kids coming off campus.
If passed, the bond would also build new storm shelters here at the Seneca Junior High, replacing the ones they currently have in the basement. The district says the need for this upgrade became apparent, especially this past spring, when as students and staff were sheltering, water began coming in.
That's not a good thing. That's not what we want. And so these shelters out there, they will have to go outside to get to them, but they're going to be dry. It's going to be a safe place.
If there are funds left after construction costs, the district plans to also add an addition to the Early Childhood Center. That addition would eliminate 2 trailers the school is currently using due to increased demand and create more class space. These improvements are part of the district's 10-year long-range facility plan that was started 5 years ago.
The priority of the board has always been we want to get to this long-range plan and we want to go through it, but we don't want to put any additional burden on our taxpayers, and we've been able to do that.
Reporting in Seneca, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Voters will decide on the bond issue on April 8th.
Now, it's a no tax increase bond, which means it will simply extend the current debt service levy of 85 cents. That's and especially as no tax bonds are a good way for a lot of districts to kind of get things done. That way, you don't have to increase that tax. You're just extending what's already in place for a few more years to take care of things. And I think in these tough times, it's an easier way to go, honestly.
Absolutely.
Don't want to add more burden onto what's already out there.
Certainly not. No.
I've seen prices climb on everything,
I know.
man. I'm done. I'm over the price
stressful.
hikes. But that's all right. The one thing that's not increasing are temperatures. In fact, they went the other way. As prices on things go up, our temperatures are coming back down. We've really been spoiled with some spring-like weather here the last couple of days, and we got to get back to normal. Nature's got to balance itself. That's what she's doing. Let's take a quick look outside downtown Pittsburgh. It is cloudy. We've had some drizzle here and there. Nothing too crazy. We're looking at better shower chances a little later, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. 7th and Range Line, our camera there. It is, it's cloudy. And you know what? If we go to the MoDOT camera at 20th and Range Line, it's going to show us cloudy skies because, it's cloudy. And we're cloudy. KDOT camera 69 East 520th Avenue, of course, just south of Pittsburgh. Cloudy is the theme for today. Again, drizzle is going to be possible. I went outside earlier this morning, some light drizzle here at the station, but nothing wild. We also still have some patchy fog. Again, nothing overly dense on the fog tracker, just light patchy fog here and there, and it's roughly right through here, along and south of I-44, and then kind of right along the 69 corridor and points back to the east. Again, nothing overly dense at the reporting stations, but there's a number of valleys, creeks, other areas where that fog could thicken up, so just keep that in mind. Cloudy by noon today. Drizzle will be out there. Gusty northeast winds will be out there. Temperatures don't move much, and then after 3, we'll start to see a few more opportunities for initially isolated to widely scattered showers, but those shower chances increase overnight tonight into tomorrow. 39 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures across the region look like this. Mid-upper 30s for just about all of us, low 40s in our southern counties. And we started the morning show on KOAM at 5 a.m. Most of these temperatures have not moved in 2 hours. They've been roughly the same. All of us, though, 10 to 20 degrees colder now than where we were at this time 24 hours ago. And that's where we're headed. But again, it's seasonably cold. We should be right around the upper 40s, and that's where we're looking. Mid-upper 40s for most of us. Cloudy, breezy, rain showers later this evening. Now, we'll eventually warm up again, at least briefly, before temperatures sink below normal. Next week, details on all that here in just a few more minutes. Lise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Newton County, Missouri had its first ever reported outbreak of bird flu last month, and now 7 poultry farms in the county are dealing with outbreaks. Now, 3 of those are chicken farms that provide eggs to brands like Eggland's Best and Land O'Lakes, and some are turkey farms that supply meat for Butterball. Now, about 4 million chickens will be destroyed, along with about 44,000 turkeys. If one bird in a poultry farm is positive, the entire flock has to be destroyed. An administrator at Newton County Health Department says they suspect a flock of wild geese may have brought the bird flu to the area.
If you just have a few birds, you're usually not going to be affected by this, but there's always that possibility. And then always just protect yourself by washing your hands, especially if you're handling a flock of birds that you have maybe at your home.
Now, he says cases of bird flu have been detected in neighboring counties, including Jasper, McDonald, Lawrence, and Berry County. And so far, no person working closely with the bird has tested positive for bird flu. KDOT is inviting the public to weigh in on the future of US 69. The department plans to host 4 in-person open houses and 1 virtual open house to allow the public to review design options for the US 69 project in Crawford County. Now, participants are encouraged to drop by at any time during the in-person open houses. The virtual open house will include a walkthrough of the design options with a question and answer session. Now, in-person open houses begin on February 26th and run through the 28th. For a complete list of locations and times for in-house and virtual meetings, just head over to KOAMNewsNow.com. And those are our top news stories this half hour. Coming up next, Charlene Patton stopped by the studio earlier to share a breakfast treat. And later, after a convicted killer is released early, an Oklahoma lawmaker is working to prevent similar pain for other victims' families. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Welcome back. We have Charlene Patton from the Kansas Soybean Commission joining us this morning. Now, kicking off February, it's Bake for Family Fun Month. So it's time to get the kids in the kitchen and bake some sweet treats. What are we making today, Charlene?
I love this month
Yes.
because it's so great. Like you said, get the kids in the kitchen. We are actually making a blueberry maple muffin. And muffins are one of the easiest recipes for kids to make. Doesn't require a lot of utensils,
exactly.
and a little bit of stirring. But the whole idea of Bake for Family Fun Month is sharing family traditions too. Like muffins might be one, but in your house, do you have a favorite recipe that's
my grandma's
a tradition?
apple pie. I mean, my dad makes pies too, so probably just like pies and just getting in there, getting your hands a little dirty with the flour and just having a good time with the family.
And that's perfect. And that's exactly what we wanted to share. So for everyone out there that has a family recipe, get your kids in the kitchen doing it and pass that tradition down in your family. So what I have here is the soy flour blend, and we are going to add a little bit of sugar there. It's 1/4 cup. And then we have cinnamon, baking powder, a little bit of baking soda, and a little bit of salt here. And then I'll let you add those blueberries. It's a cup of blueberries.
Okay.
And I like to put them in now because it kind of coats them and then it separates them.
That's great.
Now you have more maple syrup here. This is a half a cup of maple syrup. And then we're going to add to that some vegetable oil to that.
Alrighty.
And some vanilla soy milk. Great. An egg, and then a little bit of vanilla.
Alrighty.
And you're going to whisk this. And if you have 2 children in your family, this is the perfect recipe. One can do the dry ingredients, and one can do the
and
liquid
kids love
ingredients.
to stir,
They
too.
love
It's
to
so
stir.
fun.
And you know, there's a task for all
Yes.
ages, because if mom measures the flour or dad, then the smallest child can dump it in.
Yes.
They love to do
Oh,
that.
that's so fun.
Perfect. Elise, you can go ahead and pour that in here. And one of the tricks to having a great muffin is not to overstir it. So tell your kids to just mix it until they don't see any more flour. This recipe will make 12 muffins. And then for just an added little gourmet treat to it, it has a little bit of a maple glaze that we put on after they've cooled, and you can see that gloss on there that makes them yummy.
The kids will certainly love that.
They will,
I'm sure.
they will.
Well, Charlene, if people want to find out these recipes for, the month of February, where can they do so?
Yes, go to our website at kansassoybeans.org, and you can also call our 800 number, 877 KS Soybean.
Wonderful, Charlene, as always. Thanks so much for being with us. Happy to have you. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOM Morning News, 7:16 now on this Tuesday morning, and we're going to start with the future track. And the future track looks kind of gray, and that's because it's going to be kind of gray. I was really enjoying this nice weather. I don't know about anybody else. Yesterday, I got home, and the very first thing I did is I opened as many windows in the house as I could. Beautiful day. I haven't aired out the house probably since the last time it was really nice a few months ago. So great opportunity to do so. Hopefully you took advantage of it, because it's going to be pretty chilly. It's going to be seasonably chilly for the next few days, and then it's going to get cold next week. So we're going to have drizzle between now and say about 3-4 o'clock. After 3, we'll start to see a few more of these isolated to widely scattered showers initially. And then as we go later into the evening and overnight, these showers will increase in coverage. And by tomorrow morning, we've got more showers out there. Temperatures aren't really going to move much, and by tomorrow about 5 a.m. we've got a low pressure that's going to be centered almost right over Mendon Mines in Barton County. It's going to be about here just west of Lamar. It will get on out of here, and it will take showers with it, but it will have these chances for showers. They'll be scattered throughout the day on Wednesday. And I think just about everybody is going to see rain tomorrow, but you're going to have, as you see, these breaks where it'll rain for a bit and then it'll stop. And, that's why it's scattered showers. That, of course, will continue through the day on Wednesday into the evening. A little bit of a pause overnight, and we'll get a few more showers on the backside of a boundary. It switches our winds out of the north, and that boundary is going to be what clears us out as we go through Thursday, rather. And then eventually the showers are gone, and clouds will gradually clear from north to south as we head through our Thursday afternoon. Right now, though, it is cloudy. It is cold. 39 in Joplin. Feels like 33. Those northeast winds gusting to 23. And they're going to be breezy like this all day long. So we're going to have to get used to it being a bit chilly out there. But again, it's seasonally so. The other thing gets me, these temperatures, most of us into the upper 30s, low 40s down south. I'm not kidding. If I were to go to our YouTube page and pull up the 5 a.m. hour of our morning show, I would be willing to bet that about 90% of these temperatures haven't changed in nearly 2.5 hours. They're very steady. They'll warm a little, but they're not going to change a lot as we go through the day. What do we mean? See, this is what we're talking about. This is just a few degree climb in a matter of 4 hours. Upper 30s to start, low 40s by 11. Cloudy skies out there. Our highs today, eventually right around the mid to upper 40s for most of us. So that'll be pretty seasonable. Back down into the mid 40s tonight. See, only 3 degrees difference. They're really not going to move much. A little warmer tomorrow and Thursday, upper 50s, low 60s. Rain, breezy, morning rain, then it stops. Then more rain possible Friday and Saturday, a little warmer, and that's it. That's the last. By the time we get into next week, and I mean really next week, starting with Sunday on, temperatures start falling below normal. Now, things have already changed for Tuesday and Wednesday. Yesterday, it was snow on both days. Now it's a wintry mix Wednesday, showers on Tuesday. You can see the cold air settling in. We still want to watch it closely. There will be a number of changes between now and the time we hit our 6 o'clock news tonight. There will be changes 24 hours from now as well. We do know that there's a system coming, but we've got to watch it closely as we get closer to determine exactly what we're going to be looking at in terms of possibilities of wintry precipitation. Let's check your forecast. We're back with more right after this. Well, 25 years ago, a tragic case unfolded in Welch, Oklahoma. A couple found murdered in their burned home, and two 16-year-old girls nowhere to be found. Laura Bible's mother, Lorraine, has been a part of the investigation since day one.
And she still hopes to one day find the bodies of both her daughter and Ashley Freeman. KOAM's Tanya Bach met with Lorraine at the Girls Memorial Site in Pitcher, Oklahoma, the last place the two were believed to be alive.
It says love is patient, love is kind.
Lorraine Bible reading the inscription beneath the photo her daughter Laura and best friend Ashley Freeman had taken the summer before they went missing.
Laura had went up there for the day and they were swimming down by the creek by the house, and Kathy had taken it of the girls.
It was 1999, a year of pain for both the Bible and Freeman households. In January, 17-year-old Shane Freeman was shot and killed after authorities say he pulled a gun on a Craig County Sheriff's deputy.
And it was your gun that he got? It was my husband's pistol. Yeah, I did. He took a 12-gauge shotgun. That was a 22. Took bullets for the 12-gauge. I mean, if he wanted to, he could got in a shootout with them.
Lorraine says Shane's death was the result of an unanswered cry for help.
When there's trouble at home, you don't stay home.
She says that was also true for Ashley.
Ashley did not like to stay at home.
On December 28th, Laura joined Ashley for a 2-night sleepover at the Freeman house.
Think now, what if I hadn't let her stay the second night? She was fine the first night, nothing happened. But the second night, boom.
In the early morning hours of December 30th, firefighters responded to the Freeman home in rural Welch, Oklahoma. OSBI investigators, including lead agent Steve Nutter, walked through the charred remains, finding Kathy Freeman's body, but not her husband Danny, nor the two girls.
And supposedly somebody had called in a tip that they'd saw Danny in a white Ford truck with the two girls at a gas station. And he'd trade the two girls for David Hayes, who was the officer that shot Shane.
The next day, Lorraine and her husband were allowed on the scene. That's when they discovered Danny's body.
Danny was laying face up. And like I said, the boots, cowboy boots that Nutter had on was all imprinted in Danny's body when we found him the next morning.
An autopsy revealed Danny and Kathy were murdered, both of them shot in the head. That's where the case goes cold. DA investigator Gary Stansel picked up the case in 2011.
There were so many potential suspects that looked viable.
After Agent Nutter retired, OSBI handed the case to Agent Tammy Ferrari, who began a joint investigation with Stansel. The two eventually narrowed the list of suspects down to 3: Phil Welch, David Pennington, and Ronnie Busick. But both Welch and Pennington were dead, and that wasn't the only problem.
I think we found out early on, we're missing a lot of reports. There's a lot of stuff that we don't have.
In the days following December 30th, a search party found a vehicle insurance card like this one along the driveway to the Freeman house. But when Agent Ferrari and Stansel took over the case, that insurance card was nowhere to be found.
We checked with the sheriff's office, we checked the FBI.
We did find out that there was an investigator, Joe Dugan, found out that he had worked early on this case.
But court records show Joe Dugan passed away in 2009. His family, after attempting to give Dugan's case files to the Craig County Sheriff, eventually threw the files away. The trail to Dugan then led to his partner, Tom Pryor, in 2017, and finally, a big break in the case.
He ended up giving us the insurance card, some rent receipts that was Phil Welch's from when he lived at the 412 South College in Pitcher. Even gave us the little envelope sleeve that they used to put your insurance card into.
We were pretty well astonished. It's pretty miraculous to find it after all these years.
Oh my gosh, he's like, I had this, I've had it all these years, I tried to hand it over to people, I've had it in my safe for all these years. I've been waiting for you guys to call.
With evidence falling into place, Ferrari and Stansell knew the next step was to find Busick and get justice for both the Freemans and the two girls who are still missing to this day.
Somebody decided for them that your life is going to stop today.
Reporting in Pitcher, Oklahoma, Tanya Bach, KOAM News.
Well, tonight on KOAM News at 10, we're going to learn more about the three suspects, Welch, Pennington, and Busick, and also other high-profile individuals who were once considered potential suspects as well. And I remember when this story broke, and then during my time in news between here and a previous station here in town, I mean, I remember covering this case for a long time, and I just, you feel for the families, and you certainly hope they can get some kind of closure.
25 years, that's a long time.
Well,
coming up, cold weather can increase the number of fires in vacant buildings, and local authorities discuss the reasons why and seeking solutions.
And it is cold out there this morning. It's going to be seasonably cold today with some rain chances, the latest when we come back.
The four states' most watched news starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:31. I'm Elise Snowy. The Sunshine Lamb Trolley is back in Joplin. Fixed route transportation services resumed yesterday. The trolley will offer 67 stops in total, beginning at 6 a.m. and running until 6 p.m. For more information on fees and routes, just head over to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, this year's annual award ceremony at Joplin's City Hall honored the brave fighters and firefighters and police officers who serve the Joplin community. Now, Chairperson David Wells and Captain Stephen Roberts, both of VFW Post 5293, presented the awards. The honorees included Fire Chief Mark Cannon and Corporal Ben Cooper. Fire Chief Mark Cannon is celebrated for his outstanding leadership, while the late Corporal Ben Cooper is recognized for giving his life in the line of duty.
We honor a firefighter, a police officer, a volunteer firefighter, and we're also trying to get EMS involved with it too.
This ceremony was about honoring the deep commitment and human spirit that defines our community's protectors. Well, Chiefs supporters are wearing red and cheering on the good guys in anticipation of another Super Bowl win. Now, this little pep rally yesterday was put on by residents of the Presbyterian Village Senior Living Facility in Fort Scott, Kansas. The residents clapped, sang, and chanted in unison to cheer on their favorite team.
Really, because we have such a huge fan base here for Kansas City Chiefs, it's entertaining for them. They really get hyped up, especially when this year could be a three-peat for us. So we did this last year as well because they had won the year before. So this is something that they all really enjoy and really want to get involved in.
Now, these senior Chiefs fans know how rare this opportunity is. Fans waited 50 years between Super Bowl appearances before the Chiefs finally returned for Super Bowl 54 a few years ago. Now let's head over to Chris for a quick look at your forecast.
With a look outside, this is our camera in downtown Pittsburgh, and it is cloudy. It is a bit dreary. We've had some drizzle out there as well to contend with, but nothing too wild yet. But it is considerably colder than where we were yesterday morning. Our camera 7th and range line, again, it is cloudy, and this is what we're talking about. You can see just a little bit of a light fog out there. It hasn't been anything major, but there has been some light patchy fog. MoDOT camera 20th and range line, looking dreary as well. Same from the KDOT camera, 69 East 520th Avenue. And yeah, it's hard to believe how nice it was yesterday, and it will not be nearly as nice today. Let's take a look at the future track into the afternoon. Cloudy skies out there. Some drizzle will be possible. Temperatures not moving much, and then by, say, 3, 4 o'clock, we'll start to see some initially isolated to widely scattered showers, and then overnight, late evening and overnight, we'll see more showers across the area. It'll begin to increase a bit in coverage out there. 39 in Joplin, 37 in Pittsburgh. I've been saying roughly these same numbers for about 2.5 hours at this point. Temperature's not really moving. They've moved a little, but not much out there, and they won't move much at all through the day. Upper 30s, low 40s right now. We'll do a little warming later. We are anywhere, though, from 10 to almost 20 degrees colder now than where we were 24 hours ago. And temperatures, while they're cold, they're seasonable. This is about where we should be for this time of year. We're looking at right around the mid-40s, cloudy skies, rain chances increasing later. We're going to have to deal with those gusty northeast winds as well out there, so do keep that in mind. It's going to make it feel even colder. We'll be a little warmer over the next few days, and then it's going to drop below normal by next week. Details on all that here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, thanks, Chris. Fire officials in Joplin are sounding the alarm over fires in vacant buildings. They say these illegally occupied properties pose serious risks, including potential fires and carbon monoxide poisoning. KOAM's Lonnie Walton spoke to fire officials about finding a solution.
Cold weather months, you'll always see an uptick in them.
Andy Nimmo is a deputy fire chief in Joplin. He says vacant building fires are higher in wintertime, and it's not just here.
All over the nation with cities, but what happens is they're really susceptible to fires from people getting in them, making warming fires.
Jim Perkins is the assistant fire chief at Carl Junction Fire Station. He says illegal occupants pose a very unsafe environment for themselves.
You have folks going in and out that don't belong there. It's a possibility. They could fall through floors. They could have the roofs collapse on top of them. Yeah.
And that's not all. Perkins says it could create the unseen killer.
Structure's not vented correctly, and you know, a lot of times these folks will start a fire inside. So yeah, that can increase the carbon monoxide level.
These vacant homes happen for a number of reasons, like homeowners leaving their properties unattended.
We've had fires in buildings, put those fires out, and they just don't get repaired or demolished.
With that said, Nimmo and Perkins says if you see something, say something.
You know, if the structure's not yours, don't go in it. That's just pretty plain and simple.
So we want you to report it. Joplin has the C-Click Fix option, which is an app that will allow you to report those situations, and then that is sent over to our code enforcement folks to start the process of mitigating that situation. You can also call the non-emergency police number 417-624-3131.
Reporting in Joplin, I'm Lonnie Walton, KOAM News.
Nimmo says the police department is working with owners of vacant buildings to post no trespassing signs on their properties. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. A group of golfers aim to promote diversity in the sport. And Consumer Watch this morning. China is responding to President Trump's tariffs by implementing their own U.S. goods. China says it's implementing a 15% tax on coal and liquefied natural gas products and a 10% tariff on agricultural machinery, large displacement cars, and crude oil from the U.S. China also says it plans to investigate Google for allegedly violating antitrust laws. China's new tariffs are set to begin February 10th, renewing concerns of a trade war between the world's top two economies. Well, the parent company of Bed Bath & Beyond is buying the rights to the Bye Bye Baby brand and will reunite the two businesses. The baby and kids retailer was sold to Dream on Me when Bed Bath & Beyond went bankrupt in 2023. It would reopen 11 stores, but later closed them and relied on its digital business alone. The baby brand could be sold at Bed Bath & Beyond stores or open standalone Bye 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 Baby stores. President Trump paused tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada after phone calls with both leaders. While negotiations continue, the countries agreed to strengthen border security. Fox News senior national correspondent Kevin Cork has more from Washington.
President Trump pausing hefty tariffs on imports from Mexico and Canada for 30 days after phone calls with leaders from both countries. The move, although temporary, averts a trade war that could have disrupted the global economy.
President Trump is sending a very strong message to the rest of the world, including our North American allies.
But the agreements come with conditions. Mr. Trump said Monday Mexico intends to strengthen border security and address drug trafficking.
They've agreed to put in 10,000 soldiers permanently, like forever, 10,000 soldiers at their side of the border and stop fentanyl and illegal aliens from coming into our country.
The president confirmed the future negotiations would involve several members of his cabinet as well as high-level representatives from Mexico. After a phone call with President Trump, Canada's Prime Minister confirmed his country will be implementing a $1.3 billion border plan, which was originally rolled out in December, which includes deploying new technology and personnel to the northern border. In addition, Canada will appoint a new fentanyl czar.
I think to keep on threatening the tariffs at this point is a terrible idea because, as I say, it makes your country poorer, markets go down, and investment goes down and security goes down.
As of now, President Trump's 10% tariff on China is still a go, but Mr. Trump says he plans to speak with Chinese President Xi Jinping later on in the week. In Washington, I'm Kevin Cork, Fox News.
Those are our top consumer stories. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News, 7:44 now on this Tuesday morning. And the future track, here it is. It's our good friend that's been waiting for us to tell us that it's colder. And it's going to be seasonably cold. That's the thing, though, is I know we are upwards of 20 degrees colder this morning than where we were 24 hours ago. But that's just because we've been really spoiled with that free trial of spring. So hopefully you have decided to buy spring, and it will arrive in another month or two. As soon as supplies are available at the warehouse. Until then, though, we've got to settle back into winter, and we are going to do so in initially not too bad of a fashion today. It's just going to feel a lot colder. Cloudy skies, drizzle out there, and then after about 3-4 o'clock, we start to see an increase in shower activity, and that will continue through the evening and overnight, and then again into tomorrow with more shower chances throughout the day tomorrow. We'll have gusty south winds, so we'll actually have an opportunity to get a little warmer. And I think that just about all of us will see some kind of shower activity, some kind of rain as we head through Wednesday. But as you can see, it's scattered, so you'll have moments where you'll dry out for a little while before another round of showers starts to push through. And those showers will continue through the late evening and then break up a bit overnight. We'll have one more round as we go into early Thursday morning. And then as a front passes through to our south, brings in the northern winds, brings in the clearing skies, and pushes the showers on out of here as we go through the day on Thursday. Whoa, hi. Well, that went away. It was working a minute ago. Now it's not. But it is cloudy in Joplin. It's 39. Gusting northeast winds gusting to 23, making it feel like 33. Usually that camera only gets upset when it gets very cold. It's not very cold yet, but it seems to be apparently in a bad mood. Okay, well, we'll take care of that. Temperatures otherwise, mid-upper 30s, low 40s. And these temperatures, some have changed by a degree or two. Most have barely moved for nearly 3 hours at this point. So we get our day underway. That camera shows up a lot more places than you might think sometimes. Cloudy skies, some drizzle, upper 30s to start, low 40s by 11 o'clock this morning. Heading into the afternoon, we're looking to be most of us right around the mid 40s out there. Breezy northeast winds gusting to 25, and then the better shower chances increasing after 3 o'clock. Showers again through the evening. Temperatures just kind of holding steady. Our overnight lows maybe 3-4 degrees cooler than our afternoon highs out there, with the rain showers overnight. Northeast winds 5 to 10. Again, south winds will pick up tomorrow. We're looking upper 50s, low 60s Wednesday and Thursday. Shower activity clearing on Thursday. Then rain returns Friday, Saturday, and then that's it. After that, we get into Sunday. Now we start falling below normal. Temperatures dropping. And right now, yesterday this said snow, that said snow. Changes have already happened. Changes will happen again. They'll happen again by this evening. Doug Heddy will be here with some of the updates, and then we'll have more updates tomorrow morning. As we get closer, we'll have a lot more detailed information, but we are still looking at some kind of system by the middle of next week, and it does look to bring us some kind of wintry weather. The question, of course, is going to be how much we're going to see, and we'll get better information as we get closer, but definitely want to keep Tuesday and Wednesday in mind as we get a little closer to see what kind of wintry weather we might get. That's Check Your Forecast. We'll be back with more right after this.
Well, golf has traditionally been a sport that lacks in diversity.
During Black History Month, Kristen Bienvenides introduces us to a group that's trying to change that.
On the golf course, 18-year-old Stacy Pla has dreams of making it big.
Be the world #1 someday, so that's like my dream, and yeah, just be like the #1, like the Rolex, see my name on that.
To achieve that, she's out training every day, and it's showing results. In 2023, she was crowned champion at the APGA Cisco Junior Series, which allowed her to meet and golf alongside pro Colin Morikawa.
Let's finish this up.
Attorney Phyllis Gillespie runs the nonprofit For Sisters, which is helping sponsor Pla.
It's just letting people know what's possible when you put you have the financing and people backing you.
The organization holds an annual tournament. Part of the proceeds help young Black women cover the cost of tournaments, traveling, and buying equipment. In Pla's case, that was about $35,000 last year.
You got to see it. And I think that's why it's so important for young girls to know that we belong in that space.
According to the PGA, out of about 31,000 pros, nearly 27,000 are white, with just 255 identifying as African Americans.
The National Golf Foundation says headway has been made when it comes to diversity on the golf course, with an increase in both the number of women and people of color playing the game.
Pla says another big inspiration is her mother, Sherry, a PGA pro who runs a golf clinic.
She's proud, but we always strive to get better. We're just kind of pushing for the future.
Hoping that Pla's journey can be an inspiration for the next generation.
Well, each year the PGA provides nearly $80,000 in diversity scholarships to universities offering PGA golf management programs.
Certainly intriguing, and you don't realize that there is a lack of diversity until we start diving into these things. So hopefully they can get these things sorted out and get more people interested in golf.
Absolutely.
It's a good relaxing sport too, sometimes,
is.
just for fun. Well, today though, not a good day to go golfing unless you just really like playing out in the cold because it's going to be chilly. Quick look at the future track. We got mostly, just cloudy skies. It's going to be cloudy skies, drizzle, and then after we get past about 3 o'clock or so, we'll start seeing more chances for some isolated to widely scattered showers. These will continue through the afternoon, through the evening, into the overnight, into our Wednesday. And as I said, I think just about all of us will see some kind of rain activity tomorrow. It may be scattered. You may get pauses here and there, but I think we're all going to be dealing with some showers as we go through our Wednesday. And they'll continue into the first half of our Thursday before a front pushes through and starts clearing the skies and moving those showers out of here as we head through Thursday afternoon. We'll have one more look at your forecast and the news you need to know right after this.
And here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. 7 poultry farms in Newton County, Missouri are now dealing with bird flu. Cases of bird flu have also been detected in the neighboring counties of Jasper, McDonald, Lawrence, and Berry County. And so far, no person working closely with the birds has tested positive for bird flu. Voters in Seneca, Missouri will decide whether to approve a $9 million bond issue. The funding would be used to build a new career education center on the high school campus and possibly a new storm shelter. Now, it would be a no tax increase bond extending the current debt service levy of 85%. Voters will decide on April 8th. And KDOT invites the public to weigh in on the future of US 69. The department plans to host a series of in-person open houses and one virtual open house. The open houses will begin February 26th and run through the 28th. For a complete list of locations and times for in-house and virtual meetings, head over to KOAMNewsNow.com.
And we've got ourselves a colder day than yesterday, but seasonably cold as we go mid-upper 40s, cloudy skies, drizzle, breezy, and then showers increasing after 3 o'clock. Scattered showers through the evening and overnight. Temperatures not really moving much as we go through the evening or overnight as well. Be a little warmer tomorrow and Thursday than we are today. Back into the upper 50s, low 60s. Breezy tomorrow, more showers. Showers continue through Thursday morning. They return by Friday and Saturday. Then after that, temperatures begin to drop. And as we've mentioned, we're keeping a close eye on next Tuesday and Wednesday for the potential for some wintry weather. So we'll keep you updated as we get closer.
All righty. Well, a girl celebrates the end of her cancer treatment by pieing one of her nurses. 11-year-old Maggie Sharer came up with the sweet celebration idea after she came to the end of her second leukemia treatment.
Now, the target of Maggie's pieing was Jenny Lee Vogel, a nurse with whom she shared a special bond, according to the Children's Nebraska Hospital. The hospital said that Maggie has a busy year ahead filled with academics and playing violin in her middle school's orchestra. Certainly a nice way to celebrate the end
Yes,
of something
fun.
that's less than pleasant to have
Right.
to go through. So that's a special way to wrap that up. And we're going to wrap it up here. So thank you so much for letting us put the good into your morning. We're back with more news and weather at noon.
Have a great rest of your morning.